I'll take that back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some live link issues. As soon as we have it fixed, we will get started. That's why Mr. Eaton's running around here like a gazelle.
I think I won't say that this time.
Good evening, and welcome to Part 2 of Noel High School's 2001 Academic Achievement and Scholarship Award Night. This is the time when we recognize some of our highest performing students throughout the course of 4 years at Noble High School. This year has been particularly difficult, and the students we're about to recognize continue to maintain extremely high standards in spite of the pandemic, so I congratulate you all. Before we start, I'd like to thank all of our teachers who came tonight to volunteer their time, as well as the guidance counselors who have volunteered their time tonight. And I would like to thank the guidance department for putting together this event. And the guidance department director, Nancy Simard, will now give some special awards.
Thank you, Mr. Finley. So we are going to begin this evening by recognizing our National Merit Commended Student and our National Merit Finalist. The National Merit Scholarship Program is an academic competition for recognition and scholarships that began in 1955. Approximately 1.5 million high school students enter the program each year by taking the PSAT in their junior year of high school. In late September, more than two-thirds, about 34,000, of the approximately 50,000 high scorers on the PSAT received letters of commendation in recognition of their outstanding academic progress. This year, Rain Bugado was recognized as a commended student. Rain, are you here? You want to stand up? Congratulations, that's a pretty great achievement. In early September, about 16,000 students, or approximately one-third of the 50,000 high scorers, are notified that they have qualified as semifinalists. Semifinalists are the highest scoring entrants in each state and must complete a rigorous application process to be considered as a finalist. In February, some 15,000 semifinalists are notified that they have advanced to finalist standing. This year, Lucas Bent received notification that he was a National Merit Finalist, and we're still waiting to hear if he's a scholarship winner. So Lucas, come on down. I have a certificate of merit for you. And now we will move on to the recognition of students by the House 2 teachers. So let me just explain to you how we're going to do this. That everything's a little bit different because of COVID. Normally, we would have you walk up on stage, but because there's a lot of you and we don't have a whole lot of space, we're just going to have you stand and remain standing when teachers call your name. We have certificates for all of you that we will be getting to you within the next week. If you are a magna cum laude or a summa cum laude student, in addition to your certificate, you will also be receiving a $25 gift card from Amazon. However, in order to get that, you have to go see Mrs. Murphy and sign off for it. Apparently there's a whole new central office protocol that we have to follow. So Mrs. Murphy is the principal's office secretary, so you will just need to go up there and sign off with her. Additionally, if you are selected as an outstanding student, you will be asked to come down and you will get your certificate, but you also will get a $25 gift certificate to Amazon that you will have to sign off with Mrs. Murphy to receive. And finally, if you are the valedictorian or the salutatorian, you are receiving a $50 Amazon gift card. But again, you got to go sign the paperwork with Miss Murphy. So that's going to be the process for this evening. We're going to be standing in place unless you are one single student receiving an award and you come on down. And we will tell you when to come down. In terms of the rest of you, we will get the materials out to you within the next week. When you do come down, please just use this staircase right in the middle here and come right over here to the podium and get your award. Does that make sense to everybody? Excellent. And so with that, I'm going to bring up Miss Ingrid Strange and Miss Mary McAuliffe for giving the House 2 Student Awards.
I feel like I was here 2 weeks ago. All right, so the following students are being recognized with the Latin Honors Distinction of Cum Laude for earning a GPA of 3.0 to 3.59. Please stand and remain standing when I call your name. We have certificates that we will be distributing to you next week, as you were just told. Leah Brewington. Evan Burton. Deja Casey. Dominic Cuccinell. Sarah Dyer. Victoria Tori Excel. Tanner Fectu. Quinn Flanagan, Cambry Gilpatrick, Avian Griffin, J. Lee Ireland Cole, Alexander Johnson, Jacob Capley, Christopher Topher Leone, James Libby, Nina Lynn, Jamie Marquis, Wallace Morton, Paul Newen, Kelton Smith, Casey Urick, Aiden Walker, and Amelia Weatherby. Congratulations. You all may be seated.
The following students are being recognized with the Latin Honors Distinction of Magna Cum Laude for earning a GPA of 3.6 to 3.89. Please stand and remain standing when I call your name. Katie Am. Abigail Albert. Kellyanne Keschel. Caitlin Clapper. Kira Franey. Jamie George. Kelsey Libby. Emily Lowry. Emma McLaughlin. Harley Pepin. And Riley Pomerlow. Congratulations, you may all be seated. And lastly, the following students are being recognized with the Latin Honors Distinction of Summa Cum Laude for earning a GPA of 3.9 or higher. Please stand and remain standing when I call your name. Lucas Bent. Rain Bugato. Jacob Hamill. Jacqueline McAvoy. Ryan Mentor. Megan O'Connor. Josephine Stapleton. And Corey Urich. Congratulations. You may all be seated.
Okay. Got too many pieces of paper, sorry. So I'm back, and I am going to congratulate the Senior House 2 Academic Student of the Year Award for the first student. There are two. And the first one's going to go to Josephine Stapleton. Josephine Stapleton. I'm going to read a little speech and I'm going to have you come up. House 2 instructors have chosen Josephine Stapleton as one of the recipients of the Academic Student of the Year Award. This young woman was never chosen as a Student of the Month for the House 2 Senior Pod, but was on the top of our list since September. In her case, we saved the best for last and the biggest recognition. Josie is an outstanding student whose work habits are beyond reproach, and the work submitted is college level. There is no doubt that she will distinguish herself in academia. Every year, she has taken on the challenge of honors work in her classes, along with 4 AP courses in statistics, English language and composition, world history, and calculus. She excelled across the board and maintained a high GPA of over 4.0. In the middle of her senior year, which has been, of course, driven by the pandemic procedures and remote teaching, Josie's family moved to Massachusetts because of a business opportunity. Josie never missed a beat in her remote learning. I have been privileged to have her as a student in my English 12 class and as a president in the National Honor Society, which I advise. I was extremely impressed with her writing and with her willingness to help out with the different National Honor Society projects that we were able to accomplish during COVID. But those are minor in comparison to the service trips Josie has gone on with an organization that works in Africa, helping to educate its people on how to eradicate a parasite that infects and cripples their feet, thus the name Soul Hope. Her experiences there are documented in her college essay. And one of the many insights that Josie expressed in her essay states, although Uganda is severely impoverished and scarce of resources, they are anything but in need. Mary Ann, the medical staff she worked with, showed me that the love, strength, and passion found within their community are far more valuable than anything I could offer. Josie shared information about Soul Hope with the National Honor Society, and a few of the students based their service projects on raising awareness of Soul Hope and the need for shoes in Uganda. Former teachers Ms. Jennings and Madam Croston have also noted the hard work, kindness, and support that Josie demonstrates in her classes at Noble. Ms. Fakalis observed, Josie has a natural knack for getting along with all kinds of people. She will step up to help someone that she sees struggling, whether she knows them or not. She is very personable, and other students become comfortable with her quite quickly. Mr. Fornoff contributed that Josie analyzes math problems like life problems and morphs them into realistic scenarios that enable her to understand and put meaning into her life. I think she's one of the most amazing students I have taught. And Miss Legier, who has known Josie since 8th grade when she taught Common Core Math 9, shared, "We have continuously gotten closer as the years have gone by. My classroom was like a second home to Josie. She spent almost every nighttime with me, but rarely for extra math help. We would catch up about what was going on in her life, and intermittently she would help the underclassmen with math. Even through socially distanced times, she has stayed connected and is one of those students who I will always fondly remember. Josie has become a beloved friend and one of the most thoughtful students I've ever encountered. There is no one I think deserves this more than Josie, who put it best when I asked her how many times she has won Student of the Month. And she replied, a handful of times. At the risk of sounding arrogant, I think I've lost count. I want to send her off from high school the same way I send off students for the weekend. Be smart and make good choices." That's all from Ms. Legier. I am sure that all of her teachers will be happy to know that Josie has been accepted at Westfield State to pursue a degree in math education in order to teach at the high school level. Josie, congratulations on distinguishing yourself as Student of the Year and on your plans for the future. Come on.
So we're now going to present the award for our second Outstanding Student of the Year. So at the end of my speech, if that student would please come on up. With the end of a very strange, challenging, and unique year coming to an end, it has become time once again for the House 2 senior teachers to honor 2 Students of the Year here tonight. In making this decision, we thought about the usual stuff. Who always gets their homework in on time? Who goes the extra mile in class? Who demonstrates good character and leadership in the classroom? Looking out at those of you who are here tonight, I can tell you, so many of you all do, and you should be proud of that. But in such a difficult year, I started to change my thinking a little bit. Who has made the most of an undoubtedly crummy senior year? Who comes to class eager to learn when it would be a lot easier to give up or to shut down? Whose eagerness to learn reminded me of why I love to teach in a year when teaching didn't exactly feel like teaching. This year, that student was Ryan Wiley. I should note here that I do have a particular affection for this graduating class here because I taught most of you as sophomores when I was just an intern here 2 years ago. I can specifically recall the rambunctious history class that Ryan was in when I met him, day 2, block 4. Ryan was new to the district that year, and even though many students in that situation might have opted to lay low, he was never shy. In fact, I vividly remember him and his history class compatriot begging to watch historical films, meaning Pocahontas, and Schoolhouse Rock in class on a regular basis. But I also remember fielding history questions from Ryan often. He wanted to know more, not because it would help his grade or because he wanted to waste time in class. And by the way, yes, we know that sometimes that's why you ask questions. He was simply curious. It's something we could all stand to be reminded of, learning for the sake of learning. His other teachers have noticed this as well. Ms. Warner noted that Ryan is intrinsically motivated and finds learning fun. In chemistry, he was enthusiastic about learning, excited to participate in class, and ready and willing to offer a different perspective on things, rather than just learning the basics he needed to get the grade. When I spoke with Mr. Brennan about Ryan as a student, he mentioned that one of the things he admires most about Ryan is indeed his curiosity. In physics, and I can say the same for my class as well, this manifested in 2 ways. First, being willing to ask questions about things he wanted to know more about, and second, being willing to share that knowledge and those insights with others, which elevated class discussions and drew other students in. Other teachers also noted that Ryan brings a certain presence to a classroom. Ms. Scribner commented that Ryan genuinely makes the classroom a more enjoyable place for students and staff alike. And Ms. Perkins agreed, saying that Ryan brought such a wonderful brightness to each class. Mr. Davis noted that in senior project, Ryan's charisma was what stood out to him the most, and that positive energy translated into a really great presentation. In a year of interruptions, disappointments, frustrations, and forced adaptations to a brand new style of teaching and learning, Ryan stepped up to the plate. He continued to be, well, Ryan, endlessly curious, infinitely positive, and always respectful and kind to those around him. In a year when it would have been easier to be anything else, it brought us such joy to see those qualities stick it out to the end. I have no doubt that Ryan will continue to bring light and curiosity to everything that he does after graduation as he forges a new path for himself. Congratulations to Ryan Wiley, one of our House 2 Students of the Year.
Thank you, ladies. And now it's time for Dina Hunter to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2021.
I'm getting deja vu. Hello, I'm Adina Hunter, the District Excel Director, and I'm evening. I first had Lucas as a student in my freshman humanities class. He was quiet initially, but I knew from his writing that he was wise beyond his years, with deep insights into the world around him. Even as a freshman, he had an insatiable desire to go above and beyond, to challenge and extend himself. Frankly, if I could bottle all the qualities of a great student into one package, it would be Lucas. He is the student every educator dreams of having. Truly gifted, a strong work ethic, punctual, kind and compassionate to fellow peers, and appreciative and polite to adults. Not many students I've taught are all these traits combined, but this is Lucas. He excels at everything he touches, whether it is academic, musical, or mechanical. He can build you a website, write you a poem, make documentaries, play a song for you on his trumpet, or defend the pros and cons of an argument. He is also Noble's first National Merit finalist in 6 years, an honor bestowed to just the top 0.5% of students in each state. While these examples are testaments to his talent, I would like to portray the strength and quality of Lucas's character. He is an amazing person, reliably selfless, has a strong sense of justice, and wants to do what is right, even if it might not always benefit himself. He is always willing to lend a hand no matter the situation. Last year, upon telling him of a brilliant but behaviorally challenging elementary student in need of a positive role model, Lucas stepped up to mentor the student in computer coding. They began to meet weekly, and right from the start, I knew it was the perfect match. As challenging as the student can be, the way Lucas works with this twice exceptional student is heartwarming. He is patient, redirects as needed, and is the highlight of this student's week at school. Fast forward 2 years and they're still meeting weekly. And although Lucas doesn't see being an educator as a career choice in his future, he has the heart and soul of a teacher. According to this young student, Lucas is helpful, really kind, smart, and wonderful. Lucas's elementary school Excel teacher, Mrs. Sahagian, describes Lucas as calming, respectful of people, giving of his time, especially in a crazy senior year with so many demands, and has a wonderful laugh. She says, Lucas has done so much for this student. Knowing that the mentor session was coming motivated the student to hang in there. Lucas really saved the student this year. and I couldn't agree more. Your mentorship of the student is a true reflection of your character. I have absolutely no doubts, Lucas, that you will continue to positively influence those around you in the future, weaving yourself into the fabric of every community in which you find yourself. Congratulations again, Lucas, and best of luck and success in the future. Please join me now in introducing Lucas Bent as your Class of 2021 salutatorian.
Thank you, Ms. Hunter. And now, to introduce the valedictorian of the Class of 2021 is Ms. Sophie Larson.
Hello there. I'm Sophie Larson, French and Latin teacher here, and I'm pleased to introduce our valedictorian, Genevieve Roy. I met Genevieve in French, where I saw a brave student who dares to make errors in order to learn. And beyond an excellent ethic, Genevieve impresses with a fun, loving, and kind spirit and a close group of friends. Genevieve and her community have spent many quiet and not so quiet lunches in my room. Genevieve has a gift with languages. She's completed French 5, French mentoring, 2 years of Latin, volunteered countless hours through French Honor Society as well. Genevieve will be going to BU, where I'm sure she will have a wonderful time. But I don't want to talk to you about Genevieve the academic. Your grades don't define you. They just bespeak your academic success. I want to talk to you about Genevieve the person, because Genevieve is so much more than her academic success. Genevieve is a quiet leader. And I mean that she doesn't exhort or push or pull, she just moves with dedication. And therefore others join her, and that is leading quietly. For example, she's ambitious but not competitive, so she enjoys beating herself but is not super motivated by beating her peers. However, if you compete with Genevieve, you contend with her exceptional skill. In Latin, qui se vincit, vincit. She who wins over herself wins. So although Genevieve is not competitive, she often makes that proverb true in class. Another thing about Genevieve is this: she moves with intention and she knows herself well. Last year, she would often come to my room after school to complete her work. She knew that if she went home, she would get distracted and not focus as well. That is knowing yourself and setting yourself intentionally up for success. It was lucky for me. I needed to spend quite a bit of time at school as well. Misery loves company, so it worked well for both of us. I also want you to know that Genevieve creates community around her. Importantly for that, Genevieve is a listener. There's often more taking in than talking. And then with verbal support or quiet company, Genevieve shows through action her care and love for those in her community. It was beautiful to see Genevieve and her friends make space for each other at lunches last year and offer support for each other. At the end of my first challenging year of teaching, Genevieve and her friends brought me a basket of gifts. It had like a stuffed bunny and some chocolates and stuff. But Genevieve said the most important part of the gift was invisible. They put love in there. So you see that Genevieve has a gift with language, but not just grammar. She knows what to say, when to speak, and when to listen. But I also mean that Genevieve is honest and open with herself and her friends. I feel great admiration when I think of the many times I've heard Genevieve speak up in fierce support of her friends, or expressing deeply held beliefs even when they differ from those of the people around her. And this applies to anything from whether or not you stir yogurt before eating it, we won't see eye to eye here, or whether there's a natural hierarchy amongst the creatures on earth and where we belong in it, if there is. Lastly, I don't want you to think that Genevieve only has this serious, philosophical, language-oriented side that I've described. There's also fun and mischief. Just a few weeks ago, we were discussing which Roman weapons are best. And Genevieve said, and she's not wrong of course, that we shouldn't fight. So I suggested that perhaps for her the pen will be mightier than the sword, because we were working on comparatives. This describes Genevieve nicely. She hesitated and said, yeah, but then there's throwing stars. So, if anyone can successfully wield a pen against a sword, I'm sure it will be Genevieve. Just also beware of those throwing stars. It's my honor to introduce to you Genevieve Roy, our valedictorian of 2021. Congratulations, Genevieve. I'm so proud of you. Please come up here.
Thank you, Ms. Larson. So that concludes the Academic Achievement Night portion of our program, and now we're going to shift gears to the class night portion of our program. We're going to give out awards and scholarships. Now, you students who are going to get called down here may get letters, you may get checks. In the letters, it may be information about how you get the check. So it's really important that you hold on to this stuff and you don't lose it, okay? If you lose the letter, we can print you another one. If you lose the check, we cannot print you another check. You would be out of luck. So be very careful with what you get. I know it's nerve-wracking to come down here, but hold on with your tight little hands to whatever you get up here. So our first presenter this evening it's the first year that we give out the John W. Sullivan Scholarship, and you all know that Mr. Sullivan taught math here for 57 years, and we are honored this evening to have his wife Terry and his granddaughter Jordan present the first John W. Sullivan Scholarship in honor of Mr. Sullivan. Come on up, ladies.
Good evening. I would first like to begin by saying big congratulations to the class of 2021. I know that's a big accomplishment and it's been a rough year for you guys, so congratulations. My name is Jordan. I am Mr. Sullivan's oldest grandchild. I remember when I was 3 years old, pulling up to the front entrance of this exact building for my grandpa's last day before retirement. But he loved his job so much that he returned to Noble the very next school year. He was never off the clock either. I could call him any time of day or night to ask him for help with my math homework. And he would always answer the phone with open arms and say, "All right, George, just let me grab my notepad." And any of you who had him in class probably know exactly which notepad I'm talking about. Even after he had thoroughly answered my questions, he would always continue to explain to me why the math works that way, and then continue to give me hypothetical questions when all I wanted to do at the time was move on to the next question or the next piece of homework that I had to work on. My point is that he had a passion for teaching, and I know he made a big impact on so many people in his career. I know it would have meant so much to him to have a scholarship presented in his name. So without further ado, the first John W. Sullivan Memorial Scholarship is presented to Jamie Marquis.
Thank you, Jordan. Next, I'm going to introduce Ms. Ingrid Strange, who will be presenting the Tyler Bisson Scholarship.
Hello. This scholarship was created by the National Honor Society, class of 2020, to honor a member of the 2020 graduating class who unfortunately was not able to graduate with his peers. Tyler Bisson was a bright, dedicated athlete and a student who, as a result of a distracted driver, was involved in a tragic car accident in the summer of 2016. This event changed the course of Tyler's life. He sustained severe brain trauma and now resides in a long-term care facility. Tyler's kindness and humor have touched many, and his passion for athletics was evident in all he did. He was a three-sport athlete, competing for the Noble Squires football team, the Noble Middle School's basketball and track team. Tyler was a leader, whether it be in the classroom, on the court, or on the field. An example of a truly outstanding student athlete. This year, the Tyler Brisson Scholarship is awarded to Riley Pomelo, who exemplifies Tyler's values of hard work, leadership, dedication, and heart. She has played soccer and lacrosse for the past 4 years of high school and has been captain senior year in soccer and captain for lacrosse both junior and senior year. She is part of the early childhood education as a vocational student and a head teacher in the kindergarten Jumpstart program. She plans on joining a soccer club and a lacrosse team in college to keep up with her abilities and meet other athletes that are as passionate about sports as she is. Riley, both Tyler's mom, Melissa Jean, and her family hope that this scholarship will help to keep Tyler's dedication to sports and leadership alive as you continue your academic journey. Congratulations.
Next, we have the American Legion Good Citizenship Awards, and these are very fancy awards. You get a medal, and you also get this very fancy certificate, which says, this particular student of Noble High School, in recognition of the accomplishment attained as a winner of the American Legion Citizenship Award and in further recognition of the possession of those high qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service necessary to the preservation and protection of the fundamental institutions of our nation and the advancement of society. We have 3 students who are receiving this award. Charles Jamie George, Josephine Stapleton, come on down if I'm calling your name, and Corey Yorick. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Finley, who is going to be presenting the Maine Principals Award. And he has it. Okay. I'm just panicking.
I didn't lose it. The Melmac Principal Scholarship is awarded to a student who has made a difference in the lives of others and that of his or her community. They are also a solid school citizen involved in extracurricular activities and exhibit a commitment to public service. This year's $2,000 Melmac Principal Scholarship goes to Amelia Weatherby.
Next, we have Mr. Parr and Ms. Guzman Rothwell giving out the seal endorsements.
Thank you, Ms. Samard. The seal endorsement program and the STEM endorsement program are both programs that were designed to give students choice about how they pursue their secondary school education. Students who complete the seal endorsement program specialize in social studies, English, arts, or language, and they have to earn grades at a high level in order to achieve the diploma endorsement. They also need to pursue their interest outside of school and ensure that they are really displaying that they are willing and dedicated to the particular area they've chosen to study for the seal endorsement. This evening we're pleased to present several, and the first goes to Lucas Bent. Our next recipient of the Seal Diploma endorsement is Megan O'Connor. Next, we have Jacob Hamill. And we're pleased to also honor Emily Lowry. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. And next we have Mr. Adam Reed, who will be giving out the SEAL endorsement award, STEM endorsement awards.
Good evening. I'd like to recognize the following students for their outstanding work in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math for their coursework that has gone above and beyond the regular requirements. Lucas Bent. Rain Bugado. Jaylee Ireland. Thank you.
Alrighty, next we have the Presidential Education Awards. Each year, the President of the United States sends certificates to all students who have earned a GPA of 3.5 or higher. So we have those certificates that we will be getting out to you. I am going to read a letter from President Biden, and then I am going to read a list of students that have a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Congratulations on receiving the 2021 President's Education Award. America is a country where we are one and unite through tough times. You are the future leaders of this great nation, and through your determination and resilience to push forward, you have reached this ultimate accomplishment of being recognized for this prestigious award. Dr. Biden and I are pleased to congratulate you on receiving the 2021 President's Education Award. We are honored to join your family, friends, school, and community in celebrating your wonderful achievement. Jill and I send our best wishes and blessings. Keep challenging yourself. Be kind. And while we continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, be sure to wear a mask. Joe Biden. And so, the students I'm going to read now are not getting any additional awards this evening. If you think you have a GPA of 3.5 or higher and I don't call your name, don't panic. It's going to be in your packet of other things. So just hold on. So I'm going to have you students stand and remain standing, all with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Kiri Aham, Abigail Albert, Lucas Bent, Rain Bugado, Deja Casey, Kalayan Cashel, Caitlin Clapper, Kyra Franey, Charles George, Jacob Hamill, Christopher Leon, Kelsey Libby, Emily Lowry, Jacqueline McAvoy, Emma McLaughlin, Ryan Mentor, Megan O'Connor, Harley Pepin, Riley Pomerleau, Josephine Stapleton, Casey Urick, Corey Urick, and Amelia Weatherby. Congratulations to all of you. You may be seated. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Zarilli and Mr. Lounsbury, and they will be giving out additional scholarships and awards. Remember to hold on to this stuff.
Hi, I'm Ms. Cirilli. I'm going to be saying names, and then Mr. Lounsbury is going to be handing out the awards and scholarships. So if Lucas Bent could come up to the stage. Lucas is getting the Presidential Education Award, the Kennebunk Savings Bank Scholarship for $1,000, the Zachary W. Wentworth Memorial Scholarship for $500, and the Sullivan Berwick Alumni Association Scholarship for 90% of interest. And Lucas Bent will be going to the University of Maine at Orono. Next to the stage, we have Rain Bugato. Rain will be getting the Presidential Education Award and will also be getting the Sullivan Berwick Alumni Association Scholarship for 90% of interest. And Rain will be attending the University of New Hampshire at Durham. Next to the stage, we have Emily Dumont. Emily will be receiving the David R. Vetter Memorial Scholarship for $500. And she will be attending the Academy of Medical Professions. And next up to the stage, we have Victoria XL, Tori. She will be receiving the Carlotta E. Covey Scholarship for $200, the Carlton R. Boston Scholarship for $200, the Donald R. Folsom Scholarship Fund for $500, and the Elliott G. Gray Family Scholarship for $500. And she will be going to Husson University. And now I'm going to switch it up and give it to Mr. Lounsbury.
Okay, everybody, we got Jamie Markey up, please. Glasses would help. Jamie is receiving the $500 Denise Abbott Memorial Scholarship, the $1,000 MSAD 60 Teachers Association Futures and Education Scholarship. Do not leave, thank you. The $500 Pat and Sco Johnson Honorary Scholarship, and the $500 Specialty Services Scholarship. And Jamie will be attending the University of New Hampshire in the fall. Jackie McAvoy. Jackie is receiving the Presidential Education Award, the 250 Berwick Youth Soccer Association Scholarship, the 5,000, yes I said 5,000, Dr. William E. Light and Carol B. Light Scholarship, the $1,670 Elroy and Lori Day Give a Lift Scholarship, and the $2,000 Wentworth Douglas Hospital Auxiliary Scholarship. And hopefully all this money will help her fly out to the Hawaii Pacific University in the fall. Megan O'Connor. Megan is receiving the Presidential Education Award, the $500 Clark Clement Scholarship, the $250 Sanford Kiwanis Scholarship, and the $300 Stephen Philbrick Scholarship, and Megan will be attending Syracuse University. Riley Parmelo. Riley is receiving the Presidential Education Award, the $300 Fred F. Field Memorial Scholarship, the $100 Noble 50 Plus Club Scholarship, the $1,000 Partner Bank Scholarship, the $500 Savannah Picard Scholarship, and the $500 the Lavasser Family Scholarship, and Riley will be attending the University of West Florida. And to conclude our activities, Ms. Samar.
What? Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, Mr. Parr, are you here?
I am.
He wants to come back up here.
Thank you. Apologize that you have to listen to me again, but just through some sort of slip up, we managed to leave one of our honorees off our certificate list, and I don't want to let that go without acknowledging that we have one more seal recipient. Ryan Mentor, if you could stand and be recognized for your achievement, please. I apologize, and we will get your certificate to you as soon as possible. Ryan, congratulations.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our festivities for the evening. Thank you so much for coming. Congratulations to all of the students. Have a wonderful evening and drive safely.
My name's Matt Gagne, and I'm excited